So our next speaker today, I'm very excited to hear from, is Brian Cox of Scientology. Hopefully I got that right.
Wow. That's who you are. Repeating yourself. Nice.
Okay, let's see here. Oh no, I didn't have to log back in, okay. Can everybody hear me like this? Is this good?
Yeah, a little closer.
A little closer?
Yep.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Brian Cox. I don't know a lot of people here except through Facebook. I know quite a few through Facebook. I'm up in Seattle. I got involved in a site called Scientolopedia.org. And the reason, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the philosophy of the site and what we do, and kind of just show you what's there, because it's actually a lot of data. First of all, so I'm kind of I tend to be a little bit of a radical in some things. I have this belief, like I read a lot of information online about this new idea about copyrights and what should be done about them, because they used to be about like protecting the authors from other publishers, right? And now they've kind of turned into, well, let's go after the users who have this data and kind of come down on them hard, right? So when I got out of the church kind of officially in like, I think it was 2012 or 2013, and I wanted to go out and find all of the lectures, right? Because I knew pretty well how to go on the internet and find things, and I couldn't get them. They weren't out there, right? If I wanted to download them for free, they just weren't available, right? So that led me to this site here. Scientolopedia is about collaboration. It's not about any kind of authority. It's about taking all the data we have and us together, presenting it to on the site and letting everybody have it. That's the whole purpose of it, right? So that was the two philosophies. It's a wiki, right? I'm sure you've heard of Wikipedia. It's all about everybody can go to the site and contribute. Everybody can go and edit it and correct things and improve the site. And that's Dave LaCroix is the guy who made it. I'm just kind of a big contributor and kind of add to it a lot. But there's a lot of people who do this. So I wanted to show you a little bit about what it is. Okay.
I missed who you said was the other guy.
Dave LaCroix.
Okay.
Dave LaCroix.
Thank you.
Yeah. And he's out of Tennessee. I think he's a class 6 or class 8, I'm not sure, but he's OT and so forth. But anyway, so this is the site. I'm just going to kind of go over a few of the resources that have been developed over time. One of the important ones to a lot of people here is this right here. This is the field auditors. If I click on the site, anybody who is a field auditor can go on here and just give all kinds of information about your group, about what you do. It's listed by alphabetical. Let me just pick somebody here.
Oh, Trey's on there.
I know there is.
Oh,
Okay, so let's look at his.
Thank you, Mary.
And he went in and he spent the time and he put this up here, and you can get all this contact information. And I'm going to show you later why this is a really good resource, not just for websites, but for phones as well. Anybody, a lot of people have iPhones these days, and so we developed an app for everything you're going to see here. Well, for most of the things you're going to see here. But yeah, that's what he's posted on there. He's got his videos and so forth. I'm going to come back here, and I'll get back to that when I show the phone app here in a bit. This section right here, personal profile. So one of the things in Scientology that we lose by having a really strong central organization that can be trusted and everybody can come to is kind of like the history. The history of Scientology, how it became what it is today. And in this personal profiles, I actually think it should be relabeled as biographies. That's kind of what it is. It talks about people who contributed to Scientology in the early years. Who, I personally, I got into 93, so I hadn't known a lot of this, right? Let me just scroll down here. So all of these people have contributed at some point or another to Scientology, and you can edit this if you know any more information about anything that's been done here. But one in particular, let me just go to Jen's. Oh, it's actually going to be in Yvonne. I'll just skip to it. It's actually a featured one because when you have a site where people collaborate and people contribute, people who have a lot that they want to add and they're passionate about will really just dig into it, just like they do on Wikipedia. They just throw lots of information out there. So this is Yvonne Jentz. I had not known who she was when I got into Scientology, but apparently she was one of the most dynamic individuals in the early years. I'm sure probably people here know about her. This is, in essence, and I'm just going to scroll through it just to give you the idea of the scope of this. This is like her life story right here. And a fellow by the name of Howard Dickman did a lot of research. He chronicled everything in her life, not just in Scientology, but outside of that. And you can see him right here, right? I'm just going to scroll real quick.
Sorry, what's the name of the woman?
Yvonne Jentz.
Oh, okay.
Gillum.
Yeah.
Von Gillum.
And so anyway, this thing is absolutely huge. It's, I got about halfway through it, but there's so much data here, so much valuable data that would get lost otherwise, right? Okay, so that's kind of the biography section.
She founded,
Oh yeah, she founded CCINT. Right, yeah, she was, from what I understand, she just attracted people from her very caring personality, is what I've heard. Yeah. And then right here is the history of Scientology. This is an opportunity that people have stories, like we heard Glenn's story the first day here. People who have stories that they want to share with people about what happened in different events and throughout the history of Scientology have gone on here and filled in a lot of information about, let's see, I know Pat Krenick posted a really nice write-up of the early days. She was involved from the 1950s as well.
And your name is, sorry?
I'm Brian Cox. I'm going to write that up here. Let me do that before.
I came in late, excuse me.
Yeah, no problem. You had a question?
Yeah, can people post audio links?
Yes, you can post audio, video links. It's very robust. It's a wiki, and so some of it does take a little bit of education on how to do the editing and how to put that in there. But reach out to one of us, and we'll always be willing to help. Okay. Anyway, here's what my CS, Pat Krenick, what she wrote, and it's a really nice overview of the early days and how things developed. I encourage you to spend some time on this. Go through this. There's just so much data. There's so
Was
much.
she there at that time with that picture?
I don't know. Well, let's read here. I'm not sure. I think she is in here somewhere. In this picture right here. Talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Does the church people, did they get on?
They probably, they definitely know about it. I'll tell you that. They know about the site.
How do they know about it?
How? Well,
They know
Just
about
Google.
everything.
yeah. Well, it's actually, if you Google, or there's something called Alexa, which tracks all the websites about a particular topic. And of the non-church sites that are positive about the subject, this is the #1 ranked site out there because it does get a lot of traffic. It has a lot of exposure, and that's why I'd encourage anyone who's an auditor and wants to have a practice, put a profile on here, and you'll get that exposure. People will search by certain areas of the country, and they'll see, oh, there's an auditor right here, right? Okay, so let me back up a second.
Do you have a section for those listings? that
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, you did.
Classify as?
Right here are field auditors.
Yeah, okay, I came in late.
Yeah.
So, okay, good.
I did miss one thing I wanted to show you
Well,
here.
that's great. That's the list there?
Yeah, I thought there was a way,
Got
somewhere
some-
around here, and I'm not sure where it is right now, but there's a map where you can actually see a map of all the auditors. So if you're in a particular area, you can see there's a little arrow here, one there, and you can kind of pick your auditor from that.
Oh, yeah, I saw you scroll past it, I saw it.
Yeah. I
Is
listed
this
here somewhere.
worldwide or just US?
This is worldwide. We have, this right here sorts by country, and you
okay.
can take a look at,
I see
and we'll-
Tracy.
yeah.
Can you sort it by country if you want?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, here it is sorted by, well,
Or by name?
Name.
yeah, you're right, it is by name.
You can probably filter by country, probably.
You can. It's a very robust site. The thing about the wiki technology is it has so many tools. I've contributed a lot to the site, but I don't even know all the tools and what is available here.
Looks like you have church sites
Yeah, I
on
see
there
church sites.
too.
It could very well be, yeah.
Celebrity
because-
Center, New York,
Right.
CCM.
It's,
There's a Wikipedia platform, and is that what it is?
it's a wiki, yeah. So Wikipedia takes this concept of a wiki, and the wiki is basically crowdsourcing, meaning you and I, we put this here, right? And that technology is integrated in here. There's a lot that's being developed on it, and it's becoming better all the time, but a lot of people don't know how good it is right now.
Crowdsourcing, I mean, I could post something on there and contribute to it as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the way.
Are you saying the church could put something on there?
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have.
anybody can.
They have. There's ASHO and AOs on there.
Well, they could load
No,
that
okay,
thing
so let's
up.
look at this for a second. I think I know what this is.
Brian, can you speak into the microphone?
Oh,
a little
I
bit?
apologize.
don't hear you very well.
So this is not, well, if you read this, okay, this will likely, it says, organizations listed here are for information purposes. We, field non-church Scientologists, do not recommend anyone involve themselves with the corporate church at this time. This will likely change in the future. So someone's gone through here and provided information in the effort to be robust, right? We don't want there to be any lack of information, any holes, right?
It's
all
actually
good.
very good that somebody can click onto that and say, oh, instead of going to ASHO, let me read what
Yes.
what they have to say. They're gonna talk about ASHO, and they're not
Yes.
going to get that.
Right.
I'd just like to say, I think that is extremely well informed and extremely appropriate, because of the right thing to do. I mean, we have to do what we're doing. There is no question on that, because it has to do with signing the condition, and sorry, you jokers are getting on with it anyway. But the right thing is for an amnesty to be issued. The scavengers gotta go and sort out and see what we can do. I mean, I just-
When that happens, you'll see it on here,
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
gonna be posted.
so that's what I'm telling you in terms of my understanding. I think that's like beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. So, I'm just scratching the surface here. Let me get into a little more of this. So one of the things that was lacking is, like I said, I was looking for the lectures. I wanted the lectures. I wanted to be able to listen to them in my car when I drive and all that. And I wasn't going to go on any church site and pay for that. But so one of the things that got developed is this right here. This is, oh, actually, I'm going to sidetrack myself 1 second. This is just another example of what people have contributed. This fellow here by the name of Eugene Cole, he went through the new materials. We were asking earlier about the new materials and which ones were good and so forth. He did an exhaustive amount of research, going through and finding out exactly what was changed in all of these new materials. I'm gonna scroll through this because he goes chapter by chapter and he outlines it. If anyone has a question, this is the kind of thing when you have this open format, right? People get excited about being able to share things with people, and this is where it is.
He even made the measurements of the different sizes of the books from the beginning to what it is today, and the size of the font and
Yes,
everything. It's pretty
Yes.
amazing because it
Yeah.
makes
Wow.
a difference.
it does,
Yeah.
totally. So, if I can, let's just back up a second. So I want you to be aware of that. That's just the kind of thing that happens when you have an open format like this. What I got involved with was this right here, Scientology lectures and materials. And it just has a little bookshelf here. I want to talk a bit about this. So the lectures are very large. It's a large amount of data. It's not something you can easily just put up on a website and start streaming to people. And so what the site decided to do is what's called a torrent, and basically, just to kind of give you a simplified explanation of that, it's a special piece of software you download that helps you download it, right? It helps you download the data. And then once you have that installed, all of these things down here, if I can scroll down to them, every one of these is a link that will interact with that software, right? So you just install the software, it talks about it above, and I can help people if they have questions. But let's just scroll through this. This is, I believe, every recorded lecture that's publicly available. The Class 8 material, or the Class 8 lectures are here. We do, when it gets to confidential information, we do require some verification of some things, and and we ask a few questions of you and make sure you agree that you know this is, charge data and so forth.
I'm sorry, what data? Charge?
Charged, yeah, it's rather sensitive case data and we recommend not doing it at all unless you're ready for it. But at the same time, we don't want to act like a gatekeeper and kind of stop people from having it, so it's on here. If you go through the agreement, you can get the lectures.
You can get it at just about anywhere on the internet anyway for free, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but not in the recorded format. In the written format, that's totally true. But the Class 8 lectures, I don't believe they're out there anywhere. The actual audio.
No, I haven't found them.
I haven't found them anywhere.
Yeah, I found
Are they here?
transcripts.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
here.
we got it.
You got RJ16?
Once you download something through the torrent, can you save it to your hard drive?
Yes.
Okay, so what the software does is,
Yes.
every time you click on one of these, it saves it in a particular spot you set up. You choose where you want that to happen, right?
Oh, cool.
And as long as you leave that data there, and then anytime you open this software again, you're actually helping other people get the information as well. You're contributing. That's the whole thing. It's called a peer-to-peer network, right?
Oh, okay, I know.
So everybody is helping each other get this data.
Can you still access it if you're not online, if there's no?
Oh, sure.
internet?
Yeah, it's on your hard drive.
Okay, but when it's online, you'll be able to share it with others.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I put torrent on my computer years ago, and I noticed the light was flashing on and on and on forever.
Yes.
And I realized it was even going out and getting the remote hard drive. I unplugged it and it stopped flashing. It doesn't just limit itself to anything. It'll go grab anything and everything on your computer.
No.
If it wants your income tax, it can grab it.
No.
That's what happened to me.
Well, I fear that you have a virus, but the software is free and open source that I've advocated on here. And this software is not designed to do that. It's designed to specifically go after a specific area.
I've also had 2 wiki sites, and they were both taken down one way or another. It changed the server and demolished my software that was up there.
Oh, that's a virus.
I've had all types of viruses and everything.
Okay.
I even had somebody take over my site. I think it was the Church of Scientology did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be done. I mean, if you don't have a good password to your site, they can do what's called brute forcing, where they can just try every possible
There are
password, right?
a lot of enemies out there.
There's a lot of security, you Google and a lot of companies have figured out what to do to not allow that to happen. And I can talk to you about that a lot offline.
There's Tor also.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I have a question. What kind of guarantee do we have that those are actual materials?
So the guarantee here is exactly what the whole philosophy of the site is about. It's about crowdsourcing. I don't know that everything here is correct. In fact, I haven't even looked at the OT data or anything. You need to look at it and determine that.
I got it.
What we were talking about yesterday with the 1990, what was it, 1991 tech balls and so forth, where they're interactive, and the OEC balls are interactive. So that's all written data, okay? That is all in one enormous download. Well, it's not that big, but it's 9 gigabytes, this one right here. We call it the essential written materials. Now, what's been done here is that the 91 tech vols are there. The previous 1970s versions are also there. The same with everything we have. We have the new books, we have the old books. It's all in text form, and you can search it, and that's why I'm going to talk about this in a second.
Even the Mission Earth books are on there.
Yeah, it's very, so the idea of this one particular download, and I did want to get to this for a second here. The essential written materials the concept of it is, this is all of the text data that would be needed to recreate Scientology. If you wanted to go out and have everything, that's the goal of this. If something's missing, if something's wrong, I'm going to depend on these Class 8s that are getting together here and maybe updating this when they kind of figure that out. But for now, it's there. It can be downloaded. You can look at it and see what you think.
Okay, good, thank you.
So you download it onto your hard drive as well?
Yes, yeah, that's the whole goal here. So I want to talk about that also because, a lot of sites try to say, well, here it is. You can come and piece grab it as you want. But we have a little bit different goal of trying to get this information out there. We would rather you download this right here and have everything on your hard drive, right? If anything was to happen, if any kind of suppressive act was to happen to try to shut this down, we don't want it limited to people depending on this being up. We want everybody to have it, and it's very easy to do.
You don't have a backup that it would go back online if it gets hit?
There are strategies. In fact, I will tell you there was a DMCA notice that was submitted.
DMCA?
DMCA stands for the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and what it is if you have information
I
on
thought it was David Miscavige or something, sorry.
yeah, that's what he did.
DM.
Right. So this law basically says, this is just kind of a non-legal term explanation of it, but if you have information that's copyrighted online, the copyright holder can submit a letter, and you have a certain amount of time to either file an explanation why you say it's not copyrighted, or you have to take it down. What actually happened was we filed that letter.
Give me that again, sorry, this is very interesting. I just
Yeah.
don't want to miss anything on this, sorry.
Sure, no problem. So the Digital Millennium Copyright Act says that if someone challenges the copyright material, well, supposedly copyrighted material, you have a certain number of days to either take it down or to write a letter back to their lawyers stating exactly why it's not copyrighted and why it's legitimate for you to put it on your site.
Wow.
And so that happened.
Yeah.
The site actually got taken down because, not because of the law, but because our web hosting company was a little bit concerned and they wanted to protect themselves, right? So we filed that letter and they never responded, right? So I don't know the law here, but I technically think we have the right to keep this up.
Is that a
Because-
federal law?
Yes,
Okay.
DMCA.
Is that an international law, or is it
No.
a US law?
It's US law. They're trying to enforce it and actually make it more draconian through the TPP. Have you heard about this?
TTP?
TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Yes.
That's something that's going on right now.
Right, and
That's
call
more
your
on an
representative.
international basis, is that?
Yeah, they're basically trying to make a treaty that says, if someone's if anyone out there is in any of these countries, in Asia and in the US, if any individual is downloading copyrighted material, the country itself has to basically crack down on it. And not only that, but the ISPs, your internet service provider, has to report that to the federal government.
Oh, wow.
It's becoming one world order. So write to your
Right.
representative to
Right.
stop the TPP.
Yeah,
It's
that's,
not only that, it's personal health issues and environmental issues.
yeah,
That's
it's
been
actually,
really-
yeah, you're right. It's very big. And the
Yeah,
thing about it
very
is,
big.
it's a treaty. And what they're doing, I don't know if you know this, but a treaty is a higher law than the Constitution of the United States. So even if we have the freedom of speech, if we make this treaty, it is enforceable at a higher level than the Constitution.
Wow.
That's what it means. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a sidetrack. Yes, Trey?
Are the OEC and FEBC lectures on there too?
Let me see.
It says OEC is.
Yeah,
Well, this right here is written material, in this right here.
the FEDC transcripts are in there, I know I've downloaded it, and the transcripts are in there.
If you have those and you'd like to see them up here, let me know afterwards.
How about the else materials?
No, it's not. And there are some questions I know about the ELS materials because I know there's some question about who has the right ELS materials, and
There's
I don't pretend to know
five of
anything
them.
about that. So I'm waiting for the Class 8s to get together and sort out all that information, and then we'll figure out what to do about that.
So you got a church, you wrote a letter to church attorneys.
No, it wasn't the attorneys.
No, it went to the
To the church?
DM.
No, the church attorneys
DMCA.
used that law, the DMCA, and they filed that
Oh, they do.
with us.
And so and then
We
your
queried
server-
it.
Your server took it down,
They took it down, we
Right.
moved it. We moved it to another
Prematurely.
server.
okay.
So
And
it's
then,
still up.
and then you wrote a letter back
Yes,
to who?
to their lawyers,
Church lawyers?
yes.
And you never heard anything back?
Never heard anything back. Now, by law, they have 10 days after they receive that letter to either file a lawsuit or, from what I understand, the point is moot, right? If they don't file a lawsuit, then you don't have to be made to take it down. They never filed
They
a
did that to
lawsuit.
Karen De La Carriere, the same thing happened?
Yes.
They didn't respond? She's still up, or you?
Yep.
I think they're really terrified of all of the older books, you know, everything before 78. I think they're terrified that they really don't own them and that they couldn't actually.
Yes,
prove that they do.
you're right. Now, let me make a point about that. In this very convention several years ago, there was a fellow by the name of Max Hari.
Yes.
And he talks exactly about that, and that justification is on here as, that's the way we're claiming that, you know, this is not copyrighted material.
Yeah, because he's got everything now.
Yes, yes. He didn't for a while have the lectures, the actual audio lectures, but you can get everything on that we have on this site. Yes.
Okay, I've had my FreeZone site up on a community site that was taken down by CDMA notice.
DMCA, no, yeah,
DMCA.
yeah.
And it's never gone up again, so we're just recreating it. But would you be, my question to you is, would you be willing to share the reply letter? Because that's a valuable tool.
I'll talk to Trey, I'm sorry, I'll talk to Dave LaCroix. He's the guy who owns the site, and he actually handled that letter, and I'll see what he says. Yeah.
How many of you guys work on that site?
A lot of people work on this site. I can't even count.
Because of the crowding sort?
Because the crowdsourced effort, we have people in Denmark, England, all over the US who are contributing to this effort, and I would like to see you as well. There's a lot of tools on here. So this is like the largest amount of data we have right here, because if you take all of this data, this adds up to, I think, 110 gigabytes of data. We have distributed approximately, I think it's about 20 to 25 terabytes of data this method, meaning that roughly 200 people have downloaded the entire set. But of course, people are piecemealing it and so forth, you know, taking this, taking that. Yes?
So what size hard drive do I need to buy? in order to-
That's exactly the next question I was going to get into.
I'm right there with you.
Okay, so it is 110 gigabytes of data. It's either 110 or 119. This right here is a terabyte. There's just you plug it in. It's got a USB. This is so that's more than 10 times, or approximately 10 times the size you need. These are like $50, right?
Well, you gotta add more to it, so
Yeah, I have a couple.
you'll have to add more to it, so it's better to get something bigger
Right,
than
right.
119
More
gigabytes.
than that, right? Or we might need to trim it down too. Like I said, there are multiple
I
copies
have some of those.
of different things, because we're not making a claim that we have the one, right?
Right.
Right, so
Original, yeah.
sometimes there's more than one, right? And another thing,
Like different editions of a basic book, say?
yes, exactly. Can everybody see this right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it is.
This is a micro SD card. Now, if you have an Android phone or an Android tablet, this will go in there, most of them. There's a couple that have been made that don't do that, but most of them have a spot for this, right? This is about $50 on Amazon right now. It's 128 gigabytes. I have another one in my phone
God.
that's 200 gigabytes, right?
What is it called again?
It's called a micro SD card. So if you see that phone right over there, that has all the lectures, it has everything, all the data.
Oh my goodness.
Is that an iPhone?
Now that's an Android. You have to have now see, iPhones don't allow you to add these, so you have to buy an iPhone that has enough data already, enough space already. Yeah, I haven't.
An iPhone only.
Those are good because you can take them out and put them in and swap them with people.
Oh, sure, yeah. So if I take that
Yeah.
phone right there, theoretically, I go to my friend's house, they don't have any of the data, I plug that in and spend some time on a transfer.
And then they
And
can
they have everything.
upload it to their computer or their cell phone
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
the whole
so,
thing on
yeah,
that?
some computers can,
Right there.
that can fit into some computers,
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't, they have adapters that you
Right.
can use and then it will fit.
Right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about briefly is, James here had talked to me on the first day about, well, let's say I have all this data on my computer and I want to search it, right? I want some specific information. The reason I wrote these here, Agent Ransack, mythicsoft.com, this is free software, and what it does is You can search any term you want. You can add Boolean logic to it. For example, you can say, I want everything in my hard drive right here that has ARC and affinity or something like that, but not problems or whatever, right? You have this kind of logic to it, right? You do this complex search, and it will search your entire hard drive, right? And it'll find the lectures or the bulletins that you're looking for. Yes.
I know that sometimes when I'm searching, and not necessarily for you, but for other ones that I've been to, say I want to search affinity, sometimes it comes up with the first 3 letters, and everything that has AFF in it comes up. It's like, oh, I don't want all that. Can you
This
do that with
software
these?
right here will search this data in a very robust and complete way. So it doesn't do that. It's very in-depth.
Is that downloadable?
Yeah, it's free. This is free software. That's why I put it on there, because if you have all of this, which I want you to have it, I want you to have, every one of you to have all this. You can use this software. You can find every issue you're looking for, just like that, right?
It's
Yes.
amazing.
Okay, so on taped lectures, do you have the transcripts of them all, so you can sure?
Some of them we do, and some of them I know we don't.
Okay, so if you
So-
don't have the transcript, then you can't search the tape,
Right, not the tape, not the lectures, not the audio.
it's for text.
Right, it's for text. Yes.
I just want to say something, you're not going to like this, I mean, in general, because a lot of transcripts, of course, have been edited down, and like just when I was making this PowerPoint presentation, the last slide has an audio clip in it, and it's from the lecture, What is Scientology, from 1955. I was trying to find in the audio lecture where this particular statement he made about immortality would fall. So I decided, well, I'm going to look at a transcript of the lecture and do the search. You know, I put in immortality, and it didn't show up because that transcript had been taken from an edited lecture, or was an edited transcript. But despite that, I was listening to the whole lecture, and it was there at the end on the audio recording. So you just have to be careful what materials you're working with when you're working.
Yeah, our solution to
Find
fixing that is the crowdsourcing model, right? Let's all figure out where those gaps are
Yeah.
and submit it to someone on this site, and we'll work to making that complete as best we can. So,
The liability is if you got somebody who's operating on a different agenda, could go in there and screw things up.
in theory, that's absolutely true. That's how Wikipedia works as well, and we have the same model that Wikipedia has to prevent that. And that is that those kind of things usually last for about 15, 20 minutes. I'll get a notice on my phone if somebody edits a site or edits a page that's already been up there. And I can just ban them and roll back all the changes that they made with just a click. So it's really not an issue, but.
Just like Scientology can't edit the Scientology Wikipedia site.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, they
Right.
tried to do that, yeah.
Yes, they got caught, and so
Yeah.
it got fixed really quick. It's
So there's a real person watching those kind of changes.
sure. There are several admins to the site who add to this. Any other questions on just the lectures right here, or any of the having this data? Because there are some more things I want to move into. If I have some time.
I just wanted to say, and I don't know, maybe you're gonna cover this, but the iPhone app. for
That's
people
what
who
we're
do
going
have
to
an
get to
iPhone.
next.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Yes.
You may be able to play the lecture into some voice recognition software and get a good transcript.
Sure.
You are in charge of that now. I'll let you tell us about what we need to do, and yeah. But that's the thing is, my point is that we need more people looking at this. We need more people at least having eyes on it, even if you're not the one to go in there and fix the problem, bring it to our attention and so forth. But editing the site, adding to it, it's not a big deal. It's pretty teachable. You know, it's pretty teachable data, right? Any other questions on this material right here? Okay. So I'm going to go back to the first page, and I'm just going to show you something here because this leads into the next thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this iOS app that was developed. Right here, we have a glossary. And then again, this is crowdsourced. Anybody who notices that we're missing a word on here, Or we have a definition that's incomplete. You can log in. Setting up a login is pretty, straightforward, like it is on any site, and you can edit this if there's more data you want to add, right? Now I'm going to go back here for a second because I'm just going to leave this up for one moment, and now I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to show you the other thing that was developed.
I have a question on that
Sure.
real quick.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that now later on you can pull up the definition of floating needle?
I'm sorry, the definition of,
A floating needle, I just want
Ah.
to see how.
yes.
That's always good.
So F's are right here. Looks like you're going to have to add that to the site here. Yeah.
Check it on the free needle.
Oh,
Don't worry, we'll all look at it, make sure you have the right definition and so forth.
FN, free needle.
Oh, FN?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be right here.
Yeah.
free needle.
Free. Let's go back up. No.
Needle.
Nothing.
Anyway, yeah.
It's not complete yet, right? But you're going to help me fix this. So I'm going to leave this right here for one moment, and I'm going to switch gears here. I'm going to come back to it. The other thing that's developed is an iOS app. Again, one of the incomplete things is that we only have an iOS app. We don't have one for Android just yet. And hopefully someone gets found out there who knows how to program in Android, and they can help out as well. So this iOS app, you're going to see some of the same pictures that you saw on the other site. Oops, why is this not working here? Right here is the field auditors. If I go down here and let's just go down to Ray Robles down here.
I know that guy.
There he is. He put some information in there. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Let's go back here.
Unknown.
Oh, Randy Smith. Okay. So any information that they put in here is available right here. If I had this, if this was a real iPhone, this is a simulation we're looking at, so we can't do everything. But if it was a real iPhone, I could click on this and call them. I could email them. Actually, that won't work. Oh, yeah, that did. Okay. I can go to his website.
This is the wrong website, actually.
Oh, okay. So he needs to update that. So we'll help him do that. I know somebody who has a completed.
Trey?
There's Trey. Trey put his information in there.
Are you correct?
You can go right to his website from here. You can also share the information on here, on anything you find on here. If you're on your iPhone, and let's say you want to post this on Facebook or something, you just click on the share button, and if I had Facebook installed here, I could send this right to Facebook. I could
That
copy
took
it.
a lot of work.
It did.
Oh my
It was
God.
fun though. It was a lot
I
of
have to
fun.
applaud you.
Oh,
Did you did that yourself?
I did, yeah. I made this, yeah.
So you designed that whole iPhone app?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
So I'm gonna show you the glossary because this is what I wanted to show you. Is that all this app is doing is it's taking all the information that we have put on there, and it's allowing people to see it in an easy format, right? What was the word that's not on there? Okay, so I'm gonna go down here to M's, and you can see that's all we have in the M's are these words right here. And if I switch back to the website, so I'm gonna show you how to add a word. It's pretty easy. I'm gonna add the word
Floating needle.
market. No, I don't have the tech dictionary in front of me right now, so I'm just going to demonstrate it just as a kind of a concept here.
We got Marquette?
I'm going to enter, yeah, I know it's not in there, I checked it earlier. So it just takes a bit to bring up the site for it. So I'm just going to type in an incorrect, an incorrect definition, but hopefully someone can elaborate on this.
You said you posted links to other data.
Yes.
Free text is.
I'll put it again. I'll put the definition in here and I'll show you what that is. So I'm defining this as evil people. Okay, it's not complete, but being crowdsourced, someone here and here is going to go in there eventually and fix that, make it complete.
And that just plugs it into the wiki format.
Yeah, so it takes it and it puts it into the wiki format, puts it on the site. So now it's part of the database on the site.
Oh,
As soon as my little spinning wheel of death here is gone, it'll be done.
So the link in the definition could go to like pictures of things, like.
Sure. Yeah, you can bring that in as well.
like-
Or
Or a
any
source
other
text
any
or
other
reference.
website online?
Yeah, you got, if there's a website that specializes in the answer to that definition, that would make sense to link it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark Hubbard can have a link to Donald Trump.
Okay, so now I'm gonna exit out of that and come back to the glossary. So this is just to demonstrate that any kind of effort you put into this is,
There it is.
there it is right there, mark out. So now it's in here, and I linked, and there it is, evil people. So. So anyway, the point is, so we're still, there's a lot more to be added to this site. There are a lot more biographies I know that are out there, a lot more history that can be added. Like I said, we need an Android developer and I can provide the source code for this and make it real easily, if they know Java.
So you get an Android app just like you have the iOS app, so.
Well, as soon as someone steps up and helps out. Yep, that's our goal. But it's your site. Like I said, the whole philosophy of the entire site is it's everybody contributing to it together, and it's become very robust with that model. Yes?
I don't understand, what if someone entered incorrect definitions on there?
Well, I just did that, yeah.
You did that, so how does that get corrected?
Someone logs into the site. Anybody who logs in as a user can go in there and notice that it's wrong. I'll go down and do that.
Yeah. And then what do they?
And then all they have to do is, I'll show you that. So there's the definition I typed in. And then if they come up here, they can edit it. If you choose edit, it's a little bit confusing. Choose edit with a form. And now they can make that correction. And then they type in a little box at the bottom.
Where do they type it in the correction?
So here they type it in,
Okay.
right? You can change this, make it what you want. You can come down here and say, well, I was just fixing this because of whatever. You kind of describe why you were doing it, and then you click Save Changes, and it'll update it.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you just do something for me, or just add that this is an incorrect definition for demo purposes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
I
somebody
suppose
could
that's
look it up
fine.
meanwhile, and, yeah.
But you can delete it later yourself as an admin terminal, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And then there's other admin terminals who just received notice on their phones that you did this.
Sure, right, exactly. Definition for
So they may beat you to the punch by the
Demo
time you get home.
purposes.
reasons.
Okay.
I know that the Red Tech Dictionary is available in electronic form. Do you have that on the website?
That's part of the download. The big text download.
Yeah.
What we call essential written material. It's like that big bomb of a download. It's got everything text, right? And then there's also all the lectures, the audio lectures you can get there as well. Yes?
So if I have a relative in Belize, what kind of operating system does the library have to have, or that person has to have in order to download this massive thing? Or
Any
just
operating
look at
system.
it.
So if you're talking about the downloads from the torrents?
Yeah, some people have old computers because, they don't have a more modern, like in the last year.
Yeah.
Maybe they're 10 years old or maybe 15 years old.
Windows XP and so forth.
Yeah,
You
so
can download it. You can
still
download this.
download it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
It's just a
really
matter
good.
of-
So anybody in the world can do this.
It doesn't
Poor
require,
country can pull it up. That's nice.
absolutely. All you need is bandwidth. All you need is the ability to connect to the internet
Right.
and to have the storage space to keep what you're downloading.
What about the bandwidth then? What kind of bandwidth do they have to have?
So I'm not really sure how to answer that because any bandwidth will get it eventually.
Okay.
Right?
That's-
It's a matter of
Just
time.
takes a little longer.
It took me essential written materials, and I had a Windows 10 system that I got in the past year, and it took me, I started it on a Thursday night, and it got finished by Saturday morning.
Oh, wow. So it just
Yeah.
takes a little bit longer then.
Yeah, and sometimes it can take a while to connect.
Our internet connection.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
was your download?
Oh, what's it down?
You have
It's like
dial-up or
16,
It's like
yeah,
weeks.
16
Yeah,
gigs, I think
right.
it is.
Okay.
Yes?
Can you tell what year tech dictionary that would be taken from?
So when you look at the data in the written materials, I haven't downloaded it here to show you, but if you take a look in there, there's a definition of everything you're looking at, usually in the first pages, like the copyright pages and all that. They're all there.
So you said they're text files? Or are they?
So they're text, they're docs, which is like the Windows, Microsoft Office format. They're also PDFs. It's a mix. It's a real mix. We wanted to have it as robust as possible, and so we took whatever we could get to fill in everything that we saw was missing.
Is it only English?
It's only English at this time. We're looking at, now let me show you a few other things. See, right here on this site, I can change from English to another language because this is wiki technology, right? Now, what that will do is it will change the language of the site itself, the actual words that are in here. For example, these words that have been typed in are still going to be English. But if you click on this, all these words, discussion, article, home, super search, these will all change to your language.
Those links change.
The links change, right.
How
The
many
links-
languages are in the wiki platform?
Oh boy, that's a good
Dozens,
question.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, and it's just kind of a sidetrack.
Yeah.
Here's a good list.
Wow, look at that, crazy.
Yeah, and we're working on setting up a method of auto translate, like Google Translate can integrate with certain things, and that hasn't been done yet because there's a real, we need server admins who know how to install some of these newer technologies into the site as well. So if anyone else can contribute and help, let us know.
That's great.
So,
I'm so useless.
what's that?
I said I'm so useless.
Oh no, you
I
can
had
edit.
a question, no, I mean with technology,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of, not that kind of. But can you just get onto the overall library and just download select things?
Not on the text. No.
All or nothing, huh?
There are other sites that can do that. Like I said, our philosophy was we really want you to have everything. We don't want you to depend on the internet. We want.
My point is that I have almost everything already.
Ah.
The only thing I can think of that I don't have is a copy of the 91 tech volumes.
Okay.
I have everything else I've got already,
Nice.
so.
Yeah, maybe we should compare notes later too and make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, well, I got about 225 gigs.
225. Okay. I actually have more too. I have multiple copies of other things that I haven't put in here.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I try to just narrow it down a bit. Yes.
You can select the individual files within the torrent if you're good at using it.
Yeah, that's an advanced user technique. You're right. If you start the torrent and you
If
go
it's
in,
an advanced user technique, don't even.
yeah, it's a little complicated. It's not something I can teach to everybody, but
Can be done.
it can be done. Yes.
It's usually not something I have the patience to learn.
How long have you guys been at this?
Oh, that's a good question. Like I said, I found out about it in 2013 when I got out. 2012. I think it was the end of 2012 when I got out.
2012 was a big year. It was a bloodbath.
Yes, it was.
2012.
There will be bigger years though. So.
A lot of
Is that
declarations.
difficult year?
Yeah.
Do
Do you know what the case law is
2012
regarding
January.
sharing and stuff? I mean, some people who've shared music that they weren't supposed to, have gotten
Yeah.
sued for zillions of dollars. I mean,
Right. Usually those things have gotten settled out of court. And Max Hari makes a point of the case law he knows of, where people who were being sued by the church for copyright in the past